Hello, everybody. We're right on time, which I love. And of course, when I try to read the screen without my glasses, that causes me a little bit of a challenge. So I was happy to see all of you here. Welcome, Maureen, and welcome, Helen, and of course, Carol, who's going to be doing our channeling from Yeshua today. So very excited about that. I think we've got some more participants. Hold on a second here. Amy, Anthony, happy to have you here. Don't see you on the screen. You've got your video off, but we know you're here, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to go right over to my screen share and show the slides for today's ceremony. So today's ceremony is activating the throat chakra, the gate of communication. And this ceremony is taking place at the Landscape Venus Temple in France, right near Rennes-le-Château. And this image here is actually an image of the Magdalene tour that's there at Rennes-le-Château. And my Arcturian guide told me that the name of the guardians for this Venus temple is Les Royautés de la Rose, the Rose Royalty. So here we go. This is an image of what that Venus landscape temple looks like. And I'm not really sure how this is showing up on my screen down here. I don't want to hide any of the images. So, and this book here, The Holy Place by Henry Lincoln, discusses this landscape temple. And you'll see that right here on this point of the pentagram is where Rennes-le-Château is. And when Maureen and I were in France, we also visited this point on the Chateau, Bougarac. Bougarac is a mountain that is actually considered to be an upside down mountain because the earth on the top of the mountain is older than the earth on the bottom of the mountain. And that's why they consider it an upside down mountain. So this is a very expansive Venus temple that we're going to be working with today. And I really encourage anybody who's interested in learning more about this Venus temple to get a copy of this book, The Holy Place by Henry Lincoln, because he goes into great detail about that Venus temple. And this is actually a quote from him that's in this book. He calls this Venus temple the 8th wonder of the ancient world. And he says, this corner of southern France is a temple, a holy place, which was constructed with enormous labor and skill in the remote past. Unlike other great works of early civilization, this temple has not fallen into ruin and decay. It is still as real and tangible as it was on the day of its completion, and yet it is invisible. The temple is invisible simply because it is too vast to be seen. The temple of Rennes-le-Château is perhaps the largest structure ever built by man upon the face of the earth. What our ancestors found here was enormously significant to them. Their gods had given them a sacred place, and so they built a stupendous temple to enclose it. So I hope that that quote from Henry Lincoln about this Venus temple will give you some sense of the energy behind this ancient temple that we're going to be installing these rose gold Christo-Sophia light codes at today in our ceremony. So here's a picture. There's Maureen and there's me with our group when we went to France in September of 2019. And right near Rennes-le-Château is a small village by the name of Rennes-le-Château that is also in this Venus temple. And up on the mountain there are these stones. This one's called the seat of Isis. The other one is called the seat of Osiris. These stones are over 5,000 years old and are vortexes, actual energetic vortexes or vortices. So when you sit on the seat of that stone, you're actually transported into a multidimensional vortex. So just to remind everybody that may be coming back or to share with those that are new, the temples that we are installing these codes at are temples that have been identified in this manuscript called Temples of Venus. It was compiled by Nicole Christine, and you can get a copy of this book here at magdalenmysteries.com. And the information about the temples was brought through by this woman, Maya, and she channels Thoth. And Thoth provided all of the information on these Venus temples. And this is a wonderful quote from Thoth about the Venus temples, because it very much ties into what we're doing now with this Galactic New Earth project. And Thoth tells us these Magdalene temples are the wombs containing what could be called seeds of light for an age upon us, when Venus, our sister and guardian in this solar system, will aid us in our transition into the new Earth star. So this book, as you can see, it was written in 2007. Fast forward to 2022, which is, I can't do the quick math in my head, about maybe 13 years in the future from when this was channeled. And here we are, as the Cosmic Sophia asked me to do, we are doing these installation of these Christo-Sophia light codes, these seeds of lights at these specific temples that are going to be creating the grid for the new Earth. So this is really interesting that that was coming through from Thoth even 13 years before we're doing this work now. Now, for those of you that have seen my other work, you understand that we are going through the descent journey of the Venus synodic cycle. And on this descent journey, we are activating each one of these chakras. And each of these chakras is actually a gate activation that occurs on a monthly basis when the Venus and Moon conjunction happens. They are standing together in the sky. So we activated the crown chakra in January when we did the installation of the codes in Turkey. In February, we activated the third eye chakra when we installed the codes at the Venus temple in Egypt. And this month, March 2022, today is the gate activation of the throat chakra, the gate of communication. And at this throat chakra, we are able to access the dimension or the realm, whatever you'd like to refer to that as, the Holy Spirit aspect of Christ. And it is through our throat chakra that we are given access to the spiritual gift of Satya consciousness. Satya means truth, and that is love in speech. So that's where we are today. Next month, April, as we continue through this descent journey, we'll be activating the heart chakra, and that is the gate of compassion. And that's the chakra where we experience the sacred union between the Christ and the Sophia, where you can access your inner Christo-Sophia, and where we will have access to the spiritual gift of prema consciousness, which is pure love or unconditional love or divine love, whichever term resonates with you. So that's where we are in this journey right now today. So I would like to remind you that when Sophia gave me this task back in January 2nd, 2022. She explained to me that each of these gate activations that she is being birthed through us, through these chakras. These are dimensional portals. She's birthing through us. And she tells us at each portal activation, as I birth my light codes within you, your personal light grid will be rewired to align with me. And you will subsequently and incrementally, because we're going through each of these chakras on a monthly basis, become disconnected from the dark matrix that currently exists on your planet. So this project is not only huge for humanity, not only huge for Gaia, it's huge for each of us individually as well. And so these are the aspects that are in the sky today at this gate activation. And of course, we know that the gate activation is signaled by this Venus moon conjunction. And it just so happens, as I pause here, I don't think I started the recording. Maureen, did I start the recording? I did? Okay. That tells you how far out my head is. This month, at this gate activation, we happen to have Juno, the asteroid Juno, which represents the goddess of sacred relationship, and the planet Saturn, who I lovingly call Saturnia to reclaim her from the patriarchy. Both of them are conjunct the Venus and moon today at 21 degrees Aquarius. And this gate activation is making some aspects to some other luminary bodies. We also have this Pluto trining Sedna and Osiris. If you're interested in knowing how these aspects are activating your solar and natal charts, you can contact me about that. But regarding this specific Juno, Venus, Moon, Saturn conjunction, this is what it's all about today. This Venus gate is about manifesting. Saturn is all about manifesting. She's the cosmic gatekeeper. Manifesting your ability to be in sacred relationship with your inner being. And through that sacred relationship, being able to speak your truth. So this is really very significant that this particular aspect is standing in the sky at this particular gate of communication. This is a synchronicity that only the cosmos could bring together in this kind of perfect divine timing. So now that I've gone through all of that information about the Venus temple that we're working with, the aspects in the sky that are informing the light codes that are coming in, how they're activating us, and we're also informing those light codes, we can go ahead and establish our sacred space and call in our galactic collaborators. So if you will just close your eyes and get yourself comfortable wherever you're seated. Make sure that your feet are comfortable and your hands are comfortable. And so I claim this space for the cosmic Sophia that we know as divine will, and Mary Magdalene, who is the embodiment of Sophia consciousness. And I claim this space for the cosmic Christ, who we know as divine will, and Yeshua, who we know as the embodiment of Christ. I call in the cosmic Sophia and Magdalene. I call in the cosmic Christ and Yeshua. I call in the Arcturian and Pleiadian star beings that have committed themselves to this galactic New Earth project. I call in our mentorship councils, our galactic teams, and our spirit allies. I call those in for all who are present here today and all those who will be joining us in the nonlinear space sometime in what we call our linear future. And I call in the Venus temple guardians at Rennes-le-Château, Les Royautés de la Rose. And I ask the goddess Diana to put her full armor of spiritual protection upon us. And so it is. Aho. So with your eyes closed, I'm going to guide you now over to Rennes-le-Château, France. So just take a couple of deep inhales to get yourself centered within your body. Breathing into your belly. And with the next inhale, bringing it in a little bit deeper. And bringing that inhale all the way into your pelvic floor. And as the inhale comes into your pelvic floor, you can feel the expansion within your pelvic floor, the space that the breath is creating within that pelvic floor area. Take another deep inhale past the pelvic floor and all the way down into the earth root chakra, connecting yourself with the heart of Gaia. And now in your mind's eye, through your third eye chakra, you're going to see yourself traveling through your etheric body on the inner planes to the Magdalene Tour at Rennes-le-Château. Allowing yourself however much time you need to arrive there. And as you arrive there, you recognize that we are there with you. The Venus temple guardians are there, the Royauté de la Rose, they are there to greet us. You may even experience several of the guardians coming up to you to embrace you and to welcome you here within this Venus temple. And now you notice that the Arcturians and the Pleiadians are here. They are working with us on this project, this Galactic New Earth project. We as soul beings have been working with them for millennia. So you may encounter some Arcturians and or Pleiadians that you recognize. And allow yourself time to greet these old friends. Once again, the Christed beings have shown up for us. The Christed beings that are on this planet and that are in other realms and on other planets are here. They are surrounding the circumference of this entire pentagram for the Venus Landscape Temple. And they are holding a safe space for us. So now we will all join hands together and we will begin the installation of these rose gold Sophia Christ light codes. And as we hold hands, you will begin to see a light grid show up that is connecting us heart to heart, connecting you heart to heart with everyone in this circle. So that if you were to see this light grid from above, it looks like the spokes of a wheel, and the center of the wheel is at the center of the Venus landscape temple. As these Christo-Sophia light codes are being installed in this temple, you yourself is contributing to these light codes based on your own unique solar return chart that is a multi-dimensional map of your evolutionary path at this time. And also based on your natal return, your natal chart, which is a multi-dimensional map of you as a soul being. However, they are being activated by the aspects in the sky. You are contributing those spiritual gifts to the light codes that are being installed at this time. And now that the Christo-Sophia light codes have been installed, there is actually a beacon, a fire at each point in the pentagram that has been lit and that will burn eternally to demonstrate that these codes are now installed. And so the Venus Temple Guardians, the Royauté de la Rose, are bowing to each of us in appreciation, thanking us for our contribution, for our participation in this ceremony. The Christed beings are now bowing to us, thanking us for being present, for keeping this commitment, for honoring our sacred vow to show up and assist with this planetary project. And so the Pleiadians and the Arcturians are now celebrating with us, excited that one more Venus temple has been activated with the rose gold Christo-Sophia light codes. This is a joyous moment. And I invite you to feel the presence of that joy within your heart chakra. So now it's time to say goodbye to our ancient friends, the Pleiadians and the Arcturians. We will see them again next month. And it's time for us to bow to the Venus Temple Guardians. They've been here for eons, holding this sacred space. And when you are feeling complete, you can allow yourself to travel back through the inner planes in your etheric body, back to where your physical body is at this moment in time. Allow yourself to come gently back into your sacred vessel. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. And open your eyes. So at this point, I'm going to stop the share so that we can go back to the group. And this is the opportunity for everybody to share what they experienced while they were at the Venus temple. So Carol, would you like to go first? If you'd like to unmute yourself and share what you saw and experienced.
Yeah, I went into a very deep trance. I'm still allowing myself to be there. I was surprised to see white horses, very large white stallions, that were prancing around the temple, and their eyes were exceptionally bright, very intelligent eyes. And they were moving freely, and they expressed to me that they were part of the guardianship. And they were known by the people that were there, but there were huge white stallions, very dignified. When I saw them and I acknowledged them, I literally went into a very deep trance. My breath deepened, and I just felt like I was in a different place in a different time. It's really hard to explain. I'm still allowing me to be there so that when any messages comes through, it's easier for me to be in that non-time, non-space. But that's what I had. I don't know if anyone saw anything different, but I saw horses there.
Thank you, Carol. Who else would like to share what they experienced? Go ahead and unmute yourself and share with us. We'd love to hear. Maureen, would you like to share something with us?
Sure. I was right back at that wall in front of the Tor where we stood and made our vows or said our sacred words to the temple. We were standing in front and we could see it spread out before us. So I remembered then that I had vowed to lend my eyes, my ears, and my voice to the power of the Magdalene. And so I think that it's pretty relevant on this voice chakra gate that I would remember my vow to her and where I spoke it. And it was a pretty powerful experience. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Maureen. Thank you. How about you, Helen? I know that this is a huge activation for you.
Well, actually, there I was, and I'm like, oh my God, I almost wanted to go into tears because I'm pretty sure this place used to be a star fort, and it's all being covered up. And I kept saying to people, what happened here? What happened here? Something has to be revealed. And I'm walking around and just trying to fight back tears. And then and then it was like, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be revealed in due time. That's about that.
I can definitely feel the power of that revelation. And so can you repeat the phrase that you used? Did you say a star field, a star fort?
Star fort. They're all over the place. They're all over our planet, everywhere. It's all ancient technology that's been tried to be blown up or covered up.
And so it makes me wonder, as Henry Lincoln said, that the ancient people were aware of what was there, if that's why
Absolutely. Even when you read that, I went, oh, it was definitely a star fort. And other research I've done, I'm positive. And by the way, that mountain, the upside down mountain, that's referred to as Mount Shasta of France.
Wow, I didn't know that. Were you aware of that, Maureen, that Bougueroc was known as the Mount Shasta of France? Yeah, I was not aware of that either. Thanks for sharing that, Helen.
And Mount Shasta is also considered to be a root chakra place. Anyway, okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen.
Welcome.
How about you, Rebecca? Would you like to share with us?
You heard me getting my mic unmuted. And I want to thank you, Sophia, for the other day with your help. And I did not do February. I only did January, and got myself ready for today. And Carol, I noticed that your light from January is in a different, more in your throat, more up to your mouth than it was in January. I didn't watch February yet, but it's nice to see that, especially since we were doing throat today.
Yeah.
This is the first time for me to do this. I do a lot of different work, but I tend to see things in pillars of light or waves of light. And so I felt myself go. And then it was just very serene, very, very soft, very gentle light. I'm not sure if it was a Pleiadian, Octarian, or one of the others, but I did get a hug. So that was really nice. It was very gentle and warm, and it was just enlightening. And it was just calming. I didn't want to come back, Carol, either. I wanted to stay maybe for another couple minutes and just resonate with the energy. But it was very enlightening. Again, this is my first time doing something like this live with you, and it's very intriguing, and I'm glad for the synchronicities of bringing us together. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rebecca, for showing up. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Amy, yes. Would you like to share with us?
Mute. Yes, I'm here. I'm having a few issues with my video, so I'm just going to use audio. But so my experience to be in this group, as you called in, Sophia, or acknowledged, as we acknowledge the Arcturians and the Pleiadians, I absolutely felt the kindredness of the spirit, of their connections running through my body, our bodies, as you called in the Christ energy of support. I felt that ring of support so strong around us. And, even today I was spending time focusing on a retreat called Grounding the New Earth Energies in Shasta. And for so long, I've been on my own doing my work or leading others. And I just understood, standing in this circle in the middle of this very profound activation that you have initiated and brought us together for, Sophia, how important this is. And they just said to me, it is important that you are here, that you are present, and that you are here with this group. And I felt, even speaking about it right now, I just feel the importance, the power. I feel humbled with all of the temple attendants that have been there for eons. I have immense respect and was bowing so deeply to them for the work that they've done and the space that they've held. So it's a great honor. And I too did not want to return, but I feel on a whole other level with all of you. And with this connection, it's another level of coming home to return to this purpose and this work. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And then we have Greg, and I'm guessing his lovely wife. And I just want to apologize to both of you that you must have come in late, so I didn't see you waiting to let you come in. And this is being recorded, so you can watch the replay and participate in that ceremony. But would you like to unmute yourself and just, if there's anything you'd like to say?
Yes, hi everybody. We wish we could have joined in for the meditative part. but we had to make an emergency trip to our daughter's house, and that's where we are. And we are waiting for some answers with a beloved 14-year-old animal that's at the vet right now. So we will watch it later and make sure we have a week apart before we watch the others that we haven't watched yet. I'm going to see you with Greg on Wednesday
That's
for
right.
our reading.
That's
So
right.
we're really excited to be a part of this group, and we'll share more later. Today's a little different for us, so we're not even going to try to watch that thing today.
Okay.
But we remembered that he remembered it was on, and we thought we would just catch the tail end of it.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you did share your energy and your presence with us. And my heart goes out to you for your fur baby, and pray that all goes
It's
well.
our only grandchild. It's a dog, a standard schnauzer, but he's quite advanced spiritually, truly.
I
So-
don't doubt it.
So we're just going to trust the universe, but thanks. And but that's why we were disoriented. I didn't bring my scheduler. It was just get going. And so I'm really happy that Greg remembered that this was going on, and we tuned in at the right time. I've been, you probably can't see my eyes. I've been crying for a little while, so it's better now that I'm talking to you guys. I couldn't have participated in anything, but these are things we all go through, and have been through many, many times, and we'll do many more times of these things. And it was great listening to everybody's input. So now I'm really excited to see what the work was. So yay, everybody, for being there. And I'm there in spirit, and Greg is too. And we're looking forward to, like you had said, if you're going to watch them a week apart. So we do that.
So I just want you to be aware that you can go ahead when I send out the replay and participate in that, because you're on the tail end of it, and it would be nice for you to be able to have that initiation experience.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. So happy you're here.
We're happy too.
Great. So I'm going to go back to the slides at this point. And this section, we've got Carol, who is going to channel a message from Yeshua for us.
Mankind, the spirit that encases itself in mankind, has had the throat chakra closed, has had it blocked, has had it masked for eons. It is essential in everyday life, and as a human, and as a spirit in a human form, to allow your sacred divine truth, your satsang, your light words, your words of truth from your light, from your heart, to speak. We have been taught from a young age that it is not correct or appropriate to speak our feelings, to speak our truth, to speak of the light. I say to each and every one of you, speak your truth, speak your light, speak your love for yourself, for mankind, for coming forth. Very soon will be a time when each one of you are needed to speak of the light, because there will be so much darkness that every word you speak of your light, of your love, of your truth will benefit any circle going forward. I thank all of you for being here. I thank all of you for honoring yourselves to be here. You are loved dearly, and you are never alone. We are so proud, and we love you.
Thank you for that, Carol. Thank you. And now we're at the portion where we can ask questions, and that's, I'm going to stop the share again and just give everybody an opportunity. If there's any questions about anything that happened today or with the other ceremonies or about the project, any question related to this at all that anybody has, feel free to ask those questions now. So I'm not seeing any questions. So everybody's good. If you can give me a thumbs up on your screen, I know everybody's good. Okay, thank you. No questions this time around. So I'm going to go back to my slides here and let you know that the next installation of the rose gold Christo-Sophia light codes is going to happen on April 27th. I'm just looking at my calendar now. That's on a Wednesday. The temple is called the Temple of the Heart Tone, and it's beneath the Alhambra in Spain. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be activating the portal of compassion, which is at the Heart Chakra. And I just did put this little note down here to remind myself that it's interesting that 3 days later, on April 30th, we're going to be having a solar eclipse in Taurus. So just keep that in your minds. If you're not familiar with the eclipses, they're very, very powerful events. They have a window of 6 months before and after. And the purpose of the eclipse is to get you back on your evolutionary path. So if you could kind of think of your GPS system in your car, you know how when you go off the route, it says to you, return to the route, return to the route. And this is what eclipses do. They get you back on path of your evolutionary path for this year. And we are in the Taurus Scorpio eclipse period. It's a 2-year period. And this is actually, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, I think it's just the second of the 7 eclipses on this Taurus Scorpio axis. And that axis is called the path of intensity. And it has to do with the activation and the embodiment of your Kundalini energy, that Shakti, that creative life force energy. So anything that needs to be cleared out of these energy centers to allow that Shakti, that Kundalini energy to flow through is being worked on this year. So just wanted to add that little piece there. So I look forward to seeing you on April 27th for that Venus Temple ceremony in Spain. And at this point, I'm just going to say thank you. And we are complete. So I appreciate everybody showing up, and I'll see you in April. Bye-bye.